And so one of the things that I did want to ask, we can start with Laura, is, what would be your overall message to Fauci? I mean, at this point, it's really kind of a loaded question. There's so many things that I feel like as nurses, we've been faced with during this pandemic and after, and the aftermath. And it seems like a really broad question, but one that there's so many people that would love an opportunity to let him know exactly how they feel and what he's done to them and or their loved ones. Could you elaborate on how you would send that message to him?
I'm actually very blessed to live in the state of Florida, so he can get a Florida man welcome and have a welcome party for him when he arrives to the free state of Florida. That we did not play along with the COVID narrative. So that part I am humbled and grateful for. And that being said, it's to share and speak from a victim advocate perspective of those that have died at the hands of Anthony Fauci and those who have had direct impact of their quality of life, of their life, or of their loved ones. Because as a nurse, and the reason I had left the VA was patient advocacy. And what we kept seeing during COVID was patients were not being at the center of care. And when you understand that care, like I'm literally working in a wellness center right now with people actively in this moment doing direct patient care, doing cell care, doing functional medicine, and detoxing people and being here because it's a lifestyle. It's what I live. It's what I breathe. And for him to see that the institutions had failed us, but more specifically, I kept saying during COVID, like at American Frontline Nurses, we knew that remdesivir was killing the patients, not the virus. It's history in nursing. I was blessed in nursing school to be taught that AZT was the drug that killed people during the AIDS epidemic, not the actual AIDS virus. I learned not all nurses were taught that. I learned not all nurses were able to critically think under stress and pressure. By the grace of God, I was practicing the military of how to execute under fire, but a lot of people didn't have that skill. So it
Right.
just seeing the institutions fail us, the CDC fail us, I was the FDA. Make sure I said the right one. The FDA fail us, right? I'm here speaking as a nurse. The CDC and just like for the lead of the NIH to continually push lies and push propaganda. It's the system. It's designed for profit. It's designed to harm people. And if people don't have that awareness, then they are going to have that trust in government. They are going to look to someone and to be like, help me. I don't know healthcare. I'm going to someone who I think does. And since it was lied and it was out there and it was just perpetual propaganda to the system itself. So my message is quite clear. Like, there has to be accountability. Accountability needs to be happen for AZT during the AIDS epidemic. Accountability needs to happen with remdesivir during the COVID. It's the ability to have names and the abuse. I don't know how many times we were on FaceTime people were calling from the hospitals, calling America Frontline Nurses in the trenches with other nurses in the room, and we're like, this is how you get them off the ventilator. This is how you transfer them to another hospital. This is how you get ivermectin into the hospital. And yes, there are situations where we were able to go through a medical ethical board and get ivermectin inside of the hospital, but that was rare. It was more common for us to be able to get it to family members and get it inside of the patient with underground ways or ways that are gray. Good people break bad laws, and we are nurses, and our priority was absolutely to educate and put the patient first and what the patient needs. And there's fallout from that. But that being said, a nurse is always going to be a nurse. You can take us out of the hospital, but we're just going to pivot and we're going to use our tools and we're going to adapt and we're going to find people that think and believe like us, and we're going to create a new system parallel to what is.
I need to
So my
make sure
message is I
that,
hope you go to jail
yeah,
forever
I
and
mean,
hold your
at
tie
this point,
international.